I rescued Kosh when he was when I was traveling in Turkey. So he's like a crazy street dog that was dying, and I was like brought him back here. And the second I put a leash on him, he's so great with people, loves people. But the second I put a leash on him, he's very dog aggressive. Yeah, he goes Cujo. Then since I've had him for about 4 months. Since I've had him, he started getting a lot of anxiety on his walks, barking at trucks, and sometimes runners come by. That's like a trigger. So he's just very difficult on walks. And then
sit. Good. We only say the command once. If he had not sit the first time I told him, I would have just pulled up with a little pressure, just like that, gentle but firm. There's no popping or jerking, it's just a little pressure. His butt would have gone down. As soon as his butt hit the ground, I would have released it. Don't ever repeat the command. Just make sure that even if you have to reinforce it a second later, that you do that. All he knows is that he heard the command once, ended up going there, and every time you do that, he gets a little bit better. If you repeat the command, of course, he's going to become desensitized to you talking and saying it over and over again, and it's not going to mean anything. So always when you're practicing with him, unless it's an emergency, you always have a leash on, just so that you can make sure that you can gently but firmly reinforce the command in case he hesitates, like he didn't do it, but sometimes he will if he's distracted or having problems focusing. Stay is built into sit, so as you can see, he'll stay there until you release him, because sit means to stay, so we don't even say stay. There's no reason to say it. I've never said it to him. He knows that he's waiting for me to come back to him and release him. And then if he has this kind of long of a sit stay, you can also, reward him like that. If he pops up, you say no. He's a little bit nervous because we have a camera person standing there pointing something at us, which always makes some of the dogs a little bit nervous. He doesn't want to take the treat, so he doesn't want to take the treat because he's nervous, and that's the way Kosh gets sometimes. Don't worry about the treat. When you're going to release him, he's waiting for you to come back and stand next to him with your right hand, pat his chest, go, and release him like that. Sit. So we bring him up to his mat. We have him sit with the right hand, pat his chest, go to your mat, down. If you have a problem with him going down, like you saw, I went straight down there, so I'm going to reward him. Good. But if you have a problem with him going down, never repeat the command. Just reinforce it with a little bit of tension on the leash like that. So if you said the command, he hesitates, as quickly as possible, just apply a little bit of pressure and he'll go down. And if you have a problem with him consistently not responding to that command, then don't even wait for him to not do it. Just assume that for a while he's needs a little practice, needs a little tune-up. Just, let's say he's standing up, down, do it all at once. Say the word, do the motion, everything for a while until he's back to normal, which is to just going down the first time you say it. Good. And the reason I'm telling you that is because you can get stuck in a pattern where you say the command, he ignores you, and then you go and force him down, and it's easy to get stuck in that pattern where you never get any better. So put everything together, say down at the same time, the very moment that you apply pressure with your left foot, and it works a lot better than the other way. Once he's down, he knows that down means to stay, so you can walk around him. You can, of course, you always walk around both ways. This is just a basic downstay. Also, you can, if you're in a yard like this, you can drop the leash. He's in an enclosed yard and walking way far away. When you reward him, make sure that he accepts the reward off the mat. So, good, takes it off the mat. If he tries to go after your hands or take it out of your hands, good. See, he's waiting very respectfully. That's what you have to insist on. If he goes to try to take it out of your hands or touch your hand, pull it back and say no, 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 until he waits. Leave it there, withdraw, he'll take it off the mat. It's very important that he follow this rule. It's about respect. It's about not being reactive, being calm, calmly accepting the reward. Good. Because the byproduct of doing this exercise, whether it's on the mat or without a mat, a downstay without the mat, the byproduct of doing it this way is when you release him, it's a calmer, more stabilized dog that doesn't get as excited and doesn't get, out of control and nip and jump and do all the things he used to do when he's excited. If he ever gets up before you release him, you say no, stand on that leash and put him back and go back and do whatever you were doing till you get a success. And then to release him, you're going to stand back next to him like this. And this is where he might have jumped the gun a little bit like he used to do. He's a lot better now. Good, because when you come back and stand next to him like that, he assumes that it's almost over, so he would very easily jump the gun and get up before you release him. So make sure that he really waits. If he does that and you say no, you put him back, make sure he really waits until you come back next to him, pat your leg and say, okay, then lead him off the mat and have him sit. Always release him from a calm sit stay out of a downstay, always like that, whether you're on the mat or not, because if you release him straight out of a downstay, he's going to jump up and run around. You're going to lose a lot of that calmness that you're trying to develop through doing that downstay. But see how calm he is? If you release him out of the downstay, have him sit, and then release him from a calm sit stay, you can really reinforce that that calm release. So much better than him popping up out of a down and running around and being all excited. And of course, you're not going to release him in a hyper way, like saying, okay, or something like that. You don't want to do that because his whole issue is getting extremely overstimulated and anything could make him extra excited. So the calmer you are, the calmer you speak when you're doing commands and handling him, the calmer he's going to be. And of course, we're after the kind of calm that affects him 24/7, not just during the training, but because of the way we train him, he's calmer throughout his whole day. I want to go over the steps of how to practice the recall, which is come. The way that I do it, and I do it the same way every time, I always have my left hand through the leash, and you have your hand through the loop. That way there's no way he can possibly get away from you. Even if you're not looking in his direction and he tries to take off, there's no way it can come off. So always put your hand through there and just hold on to it like this. You want to have the full 6 feet to call him to you, and if you extend your arm, it's more like 8 feet, because you want to be able to call him from some sort of a distance. And of course, you can later on, once you get really good on the regular leash, you can start practicing on a longer line, 10, 15, 20 foot long line. You can get those at the store and start practicing farther away. But don't do that until you've mastered just a recall on a regular 6 foot leash. Always call him away from you or call him to you when he's looking away from you. Never call him when he's staring at you, because we are practicing for a real life situation where you really want him to hear your command, break away from whatever he's paying attention to. Even if he turns his head to look somewhere else and you wait for that and call him to come, he still has to turn back to you and run towards you. That's better, a lot better than calling him when he's staring at you, because you're never going to need that. You're going to need him. He's moving away from something. He's distracted by something. He hears that command. He breaks away immediately and comes back to you. So that's what we're practicing for. Left hand leash. Your reward's in your right hand. Make this target, because in an emergency, you're not going to have any reward. Right now, I'm going to have a reward, but in an emergency, you won't. But he won't know it's empty. So always practice this way. He's listening to some child on the street screaming. He's looking at the fence there. He's distracted. I'm going to wait till he lost interest in that pretty quickly. You can always toss a distraction. So I'm going to toss this piece of food. Now he's distracted. Come! Call him away from that. Good. See how I came to my right hand target? As soon as his nose touched my fist, it opened. He got the reward. I said good. I have the leash in my left hand. I can turn into him. I can walk him somewhere. Or I could have him sit and release him again. Go. But you definitely want to manage the leash that way. Don't do any of this kind of stuff or any of that. It's less is more. Just don't do any of that. Just keep it like this. Come. So you sniffing the flowers there. He'll follow you anywhere. Good. See how I grabbed the leash with my left hand? I said good the second I gave him the reward. If you back away from him when you're calling him to come to you, he's going to be drawn to you and he's going to rush to you. And if you practice in that way every time, in an emergency when your back's to a wall or you can't back away, he's going to rush to you because of the way you practice. Come. Always back away. Good when you practice. Because when you back away, he's going to rush to you, and that's the way you want him to do it every time. Okay. So we have a dog on a leash here. This is Kosh. Show Kosh, okay? Come! So now you can call him away from a dog, and he doesn't even want the treat, but still, come! Call him away from a dog like that, and show the little dog running away. He's so cute, isn't he? Come! Call him away. Good. And that's how you deal with a dog out on the street with Kosh. We also have a dog at a window, but it's a fence line, obviously. And Kosh is going up to the dog, and normally I wouldn't allow this. Come! But I'm just showing you what we can do. And Kosh gets really nervous out in public, and he doesn't want to take treats, but it doesn't matter if he won't take a treat. Come! I just practiced calling him away from any dog. Good. Now he's taking the treat. He will sometimes, and other times he won't. But that's just an example of what we do when we meet a dog at a fence line or something like that. And we always call him away. Don't wait for him to get excited and maybe bark. Always just call him away before he does. And every time you do that, just what you saw me do, he'll get a little bit better. Good boy, Kosh. Good boy. Oh look, we just had a dog pop out. Give him the full length of the leash. Don't choke up. Just like that, loose leash. Come. So this dog just popped out. Good. Popped out of that gate. Kosh is right here. Come. Calling him away from this dog that just appeared out of that gate. Surprised us both. Come. He had an issue with leash aggression when he first came here. And so every day we practice out in public like this when we're walking. We will sit, go. Whenever we see a dog, I call him back to come to me. And now what happens very often is he'll just turn away from that dog, and I give him a reward for that. And so every day it gets easier. Come! He's never met this dog before. And we actually never practice on this side of the street, so you can see how much he's changed in his stay with us. And really, he's pretty non-reactive out in public with other dogs. Also, you'll notice, and through all the videos, you notice how the leash is loose. So I'm never doing this. I'm never doing this. There's never any pulling like that. There's never wrapping around like this. All those kinds of things make a dog want to pull, create overstimulation in the dog, which can lead to leash aggression. So there's no more tight leash, and there doesn't have to be, because you can always say, come, and he'll come back to you. Good. And there's no pulling. So you use the training to keep the leash loose. If you catch yourself wrapping it up or going like this or any of that, you have to stop yourself and do what you see me doing here. Even with a little tap like that, he'll stop pulling. See, he wants to go over and meet with that puppy there. Come. It's a big dog, but it's just really just a big puppy. Good. And you see, we've been hanging out here for a while and not walking, not moving on. You're never going to do this. You're never just going to stand here and let him obsess over a new dog. But this is worst case scenario, so you see how he is in this kind of situation. Normally, the first time you see the dog, you call him to come to you and you keep moving on your walk. So it'd be a lot easier than this situation that you see right here. Okay, bud, let's go.